Hi guys, ArchieLuxury channel and the Poor Pluto channel, for paid reviews. And have I got a doozy for you today? And before I do this, this is a Grand Seiko Snowflake review. And before I do this, remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Tell your friends. I need viewers, subscribers. I need the works. Tell your friends about my YouTube channel. Man cannot live on Google Ads alone. So today, I'm going to have a look at this is a review for Met. Hi, Arch! How the F are you doing? How the Google Ads are you doing, you Google Ad? I need you to do a review on the Grand Seiko Snowflake on whether or not it's a shitter. Please call out my boy, Putin, living in northern Italy, as a shitter lover when you do the vid. $20 coming your way. Love your vids, brah. Keep it up. Very best regards, Met. And this is a very interesting review here indeed. The Grand Seiko Snowflake. And what is this watch exactly? Well, it's a very, very special watch. The Snowflake itself. It's a spring drive movement. And this is a watch which is possibly the most accurate automatic watch in the world. It's a bit of an interesting equation there. Now, it's called the Snowflake, not because of the movement or something like that. It's called the Snowflake because of the way the dial's been done. Apparently, it's a 6-layered process. The dial, which is a white dial, which I love white dials. Actually, I'm wearing my IWC Ingy, but white dials are cool. It's a 6-stage process to make the dial look like a snowflake, snow. And apparently, where the design studio of Seiko is in Japan, they have snow there, and this is how they have designed the dial. Now, I gotta tell you, it's a very interesting thing. What do I think of the Grand Seiko Snowflake? It ain't no shitter. Definitely not. I mean, you can be a Swiss watch fanboy, you can be a Lange man, but you gotta hand it to the Japanese for absolute precision and refinement. These guys here, what they've basically done is they've turned the automatic wristwatch upside down. They have used their own proprietary titanium. This is a special mix of titanium that's exclusive to Seiko. Exclusive to Grand Seiko. They've added some wonderful stuff there. The case, as I said, proprietary titanium. The dial itself, it's gone to an extra layer of attention. The Snowflake dial, I mean, it literally looks like snow. I mean, that ain't cheap to do. And I mean, it's quite fascinating. The Swiss, you get caught up on guilloche, and yes, we love the guilloche, but Snowflake, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. You just look at it and think, wow. I don't know about you, but being a watch person myself, when I see quality attention to detail and something that is the long way to do a problem, you've got to admire it. And this is kind of what has happened with the Grand Seiko itself there. They have gone ballistic. The Japanese have gone absolutely crazy on this watch. and they've now I haven't even got to the best part, which is the movement itself. And in the Snowflake model itself there, it uses a 9R65 spring drive movement, which is absolutely, how do you put it? It's revolutionary. It's a very modern movement. It's kind of the future in mechanical manual wind watch, automatic watches. Now, what happens is the spring drive system employs a quartz crystal and an electromagnet to regulate this piece. So you've kind of got, it's not a quartz watch, but it's regulated. Okay, it's not a quartz type watch, but this is a mechanical watch regulated by a quartz crystal and electromagnet. Now, what does that mean in the real world itself there? Well, what it means is this piece here is, if you compare it to Seiko's, another grand Seiko, you'd have to compare it to, say, the legendary High Beat. The High Beat. The High Beat is 400% less accurate than the spring drive in the Snowflake, which is pretty damn amazing. So you're looking at an accuracy. They're saying that the High Beat accuracy compared to the Snowflake is accurate to 2 seconds a day. In reality, probably 5 seconds a month. It's pretty amazing, and it doesn't really matter how you position the watch. With a lot of watches, you position them down on the nightstand or up or on the side. It can adjust whether it gains or loses time, whereas with this movement here, it doesn't seem to affect it, which is amazing stuff. Now, I got to tell you, when you're talking snowflakes themselves there, what's my opinion? The watch is absolutely amazing. The Grand Seiko Snowflake is, it's a piece of horological excellence. That's what it is. I mean, I'm a Swiss watch man myself. I love my Swiss watches. Love my Patek. Love my Reverso, Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso. I love my Rolex. Love my Omega. Love my IWC. Love my Brega. Yeah. But you'd have to be an idiot. You'd have to be an absolute moron if you said the Snowflake was a shitter. The Snowflake is so far ahead of the Swiss, it's not funny. It's amazing. And the nearest thing in it, if you look at the Grand Seiko range there, you could say, well, there's a thing called the High Beat. So traditionally, they have a rating which is the beats per hour. Now, Rolexes used to be about 15,000. Then they went up to 21,000, and now they're about 28,000. So that's what most modern watches are, about 28. Interestingly enough, with my Pateks, the Calatrava and the annual calendar were 21,000 approximately beats per hour, and the newer ones are 28,000 now. However, with the High Beat, it's 36,000 beats per hour, which the advantage of that is that it tends to be a lot more accurate. And that's kind of their super accurate movement. Now, when you compare that to the Snowflake movement with the spring drive, they're saying the High Beat is 400% less accurate than the spring drive movement. So the two movements, if you're really a movement nut there, the Grand Seiko High Beat uses an RS85 movement, whereas the Snowflake uses a 9R65. Now, it's the High Beat movement from Grand Seiko was something that's developed in the 60s, and it's very, very highly regarded. The Snowflake is a more modern approach. It's absolutely amazing how it's so damn accurate. It's a modern movement looking towards the future. I'm going to put a few links in the description. There's some great articles. There's a great article actually comparing the high beat to the Snowflake. And I got to tell you, what do I think? The Grand Seiko Snowflake is amazing. It's an amazing piece of horology. I mean, I don't own one. But you'd have to be an idiot to say the watch is a shitter. There's no question of that. That is a highly, highly developed piece of technology. And it just goes to show you how the Japanese take their watches so damn seriously. I got to be honest with you there. It'd be a very tricky thing to say, well, what do you buy then? Would you buy a high beat or a Snowflake? And that'd be a very big, that'd be an interesting discussion there, because this viewer's asked me, he says, do I think the Grand Seiko Snowflake is a shitter? No, it's probably at the top of the tree. This watch is amazing. But if we compare it, the only thing we can compare this Grand Seiko Snowflake to is another Grand Seiko. And would you go for a high beat, or would you go for a Snowflake? A high beat or a spring drive? That really is the big question. That is the harder choice there. And I don't know which way I'd go there. But I got to tell you, these Grand Seikos, you have to respect them for what they are. I mean, they are in-house, amazing pieces of kit. These are absolutely amazing pieces of kit. So they are really far above anything else in the mechanical watch world. That's my opinion. The Grand Seiko Snowflake, I think I want one. Guys. I think I want one. Do you reckon I should set up a GoFundMe for getting a Grand Seiko? I think I could rock a Grand Seiko Snowflake. I'm Paul Pluta. This is the Paul Pluta channel. This is a paid review on the Grand Seiko Snowflake, one of the greatest mechanical watches of all time.